Hello humans, this week's video is one for people like myself who are trying to balance their YouTube channel aspirations with their regular school life. So I want to start out by quickly taking you through what my average weekday looks like. I wake up at about 6:30 a.m. to go to school. I'm at school by around 8 o'clock and then I leave at 4. I spend the time between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. working on homework as well as just normal life stuff like eating food. Then when I'm done with all of my homework from about 8 to 9, I spend that hour or so on fitness, whether that's exercising, lifting weights, practicing my handstand. It's getting better, I promise. Then around 9 p.m., once I'm done with everything else, I start editing and stop around 1 in the morning. Which leads me into my first little bit of advice, which is to not expect a good night's sleep. You will be disappointed. If you get 8+ hours of sleep a night, I respect it, but there comes a point, for me at least, where you kind of have to choose between having a YouTube channel that you upload to consistently and sleeping consistently, and it kind of goes that way. The next tip is pretty obvious and pretty broad, and that is to make priorities. Figure out what is important to you and what isn't. If something really, truly is not worth your time, don't spend your time doing it. For example, at the beginning of this year, I was in my school's band. Being in band at my school is quite a commitment. There are performances to worry about, as well as rehearsals and the expectation to spend a lot of time practicing outside of school. I decided that since band was taking up a lot of my time, but still wasn't something that I wanted to go anywhere with in my life or pursue after high school, to get rid of it. So I dropped out of my school's band. My third bit of advice is to have a schedule, but to have a realistic schedule. Having a consistent upload schedule keeps you from procrastinating, but having an unrealistic schedule can really hurt you. The best example I can think of an unrealistic upload schedule is Andreas Him. And yeah, he's not in school, but he does have a job. He promises weekly uploads, but pretty much never delivers because his quality standard is so high that it's pretty much impossible to make one of his videos in a week without making it his only work. Have a schedule, but of course make sure it's something that, while motivating you, is something that you can actually hit. Speaking of structure, one of my absolute recommendations is to have a daily task list. For every single day, either the night before or the morning of that day, I will write down a list of tasks to complete by the end of the day. That could be writing a video, filming a video, editing a video, responding to comments, posting on Instagram, any small task that I want to get done by the end of the day. I'll tally them all up, and then by the end of the day, I've generally finished all of those tasks. This way, when it comes time to get some work done, you're not wasting time trying to figure out what to do. You already have that laid out for you, and you just have to execute it. Another thing that I do that I think is absolutely essential to productivity is finishing all of your schoolwork, all of it, before you start editing. If you're trying to go back and forth between two different things, maybe 15 minutes of editing, then half an hour of schoolwork, then half an hour of editing, then 20 minutes of schoolwork again, you are going to waste a ton of time going in between those tasks, and you're also never going to be completely focused on one thing. So get all of your homework done before you even touch that YouTube work. Now, one thing that I've done today is make the most of your weekends. Today is Sunday. I got up this morning, went out and filmed a bit, went out to a different location, filmed some more, edited the footage that I filmed yesterday, and now I'm filming this video after editing that. Today is Sunday, yes, but it hasn't been a Sunday fun day or a relaxing weekend. I've spent all of today filming and editing, I've spent all of yesterday filming and editing, and I've gotten a lot of work done this weekend. This next one might sound a bit weird, which is to do whatever you can at any given moment. For example, if you have extra time at school, spend that time working on homework so that you can work on something else later. Another example of this is that I spend almost all of my time on the weekdays editing so that I can film on weekends when the sun is out for more time. Finally, as a last resort, you can of course always prioritize quality over quantity. If you're trying to make the same number of videos in a shorter amount of time, each one is going to get worse. This is why I recently switched from weekly vlogs to monthly vlogs. I just didn't have time to make a good video every week. And now with a monthly schedule, I'm able to be very creative, very considerate of story without having to worry quite as much about struggling to just get something out by the end of the week. And speaking of monthly vlogs, the first one is going to be the spooky Halloween video about 3-ish weeks from now on October 29th. So mark your calendars, and if you don't want to miss that, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. I also upload weekly filmmaking and video editing tutorials just like this. Keep creating awesome things. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Straight up punched my camera there, like the lens went in and everything.